Well, we've made it to the end. After channeling a crap ton of Saidin, Rand wakes up bewildered from using that much of the power. He can't really remember everything that happened. He doesn't remember Egwene, but he does come to believe that he killed Shaitan all by himself. But Moraine doesn't believe that. So, meanwhile, the rest of the crew finds a number of artifacts in the Eye after the pool of Saidin was used up. They find a number of things, including a broken seal from the Dark One's prison, a banner of the banner of the dragon, and the Horn of Valere. Stick around as we walk through the final 2 chapters of The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan.
Hello and welcome to the Doctors Who podcast. My name is Chris.
And I'm Chip.
And I'm Brian.
And we're covering the last 2 chapters of this book.
We made it.
We did. I don't know if this is the biggest book we've ever read. It feels like, from a density level, it's kind of up there. But Sanderson's also fairly verbose.
Yeah. I think this might be, though.
Yeah.
It's probably between this or The Name of the Wind.
I would agree.
Only 13 more to go.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
But Rand doesn't know that because he thinks the Dark One's dead.
Right.
So.
Yep.
That's actually maybe a great jumping off point to kind of jump in and give our thoughts here. So, Chip will start with
Right when I take a drink.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on as the book wraps up. We start out with Rand. He's kind of bewildered. He's used all this one power, and
it hasn't killed him.
It didn't kill him, but he doesn't really remember what happened, and he doesn't remember Egwene. And the reason I bring that up is it kind of makes me think back to the prologue when Lews Therin is wandering the castle looking for Ilyena, and he's kind of in the same state where he's bewildered, doesn't really remember what's going on, doesn't know what happened or how he got there. So it just kind of, I don't know if it kind of bookends, that bookends the book. But another couple things too, it's a little ominous when Nynaeve and Egwene and Moraine all realize what Rand has done, and like Nynaeve basically says that he's dangerous now. So is she kind of inferring at that point that he should be gentled or controlled somehow? And then Moraine's like, well, the pattern's going to weave as it wills, so it'll figure out what to do with you. I think it's interesting when Moraine also questions if they use the Eye of the World for its intended purpose, since it was basically built in anticipation of the world's greatest need. Moraine's questioning was this it? And the other kind of cool thing was the broken seal that they find. So when they find all this stuff in the Eye, was the seal broken when the Eye was made? Or was it broken because of Rand and Agelmar channeling all this power that the seal broke? But it would make sense that it broke before there sometime, since Agelmar was out and Balthamel was out, and they think, that they were kind of closest to the seal or closest to the breach, when the seals were broken. And then finally, Moraine, I think the book basically ends with Moraine professing, that the dragon has been reborn. She knows it, but the rest of the world does not know that yet.
Yeah, you're right. There was a lot that went on, and I felt like they really, Jordan did a nice job of kind of giving us a little bit of closure, but not enough, and made us want to go right into the Great Hunt. And it really kind of springboards us into, the rest of the series. It just feels like, I was kind of hoping like some of the other series we've read where it kind of, could be a standalone book.
There's some closure.
This feels like there's not a lot. And as a first-time reader, I thought, this is it. This is where I'm going to figure out kind of a little bit more about Rand's history. And nope, we still have, a lot of question marks. Like, we know that he is the chosen one, but how far does he go? Does he actually survive the series? I don't know. So it made me a little frustrated because I was hoping for some closure, but at the same time, there was so much that was thrown out in those last couple chapters with these new artifacts that have significance, and I know will continue to have significance afterwards. So I'm curious where this is going to go after this book.
Cool. So I thought this kind of did wrap a few things up, right? As far as like drawing that parallel back to Lews Therin in the prologue, I think Lews Therin was bewildered because the taint had already driven him mad.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's not really anything that Jordan writes in these 2 chapters that indicates whether Rand has already gone mad from channeling that much, if he's just out of it, like he had a 1 power blackout, and he just, but that was the one thing I wanted to point out there, is that, Lews Therin was mad because, is it Moraine? Is that the Forsaken that visits him?
Yeah, I think so.
Is basically like, he sees him and he's like, God damn it, the taint got you already,
Mhm.
which is a sentence that I probably should never say again. But
It doesn't saying you got the taint.
And it's true. That's true.
But yeah, so that's just, there's still 13 books. I think it's safe to say that Rand is not yet mad.
No, but he's never drawn this much power.
Right.
Yeah. We know that it's confirmed, actually, in these chapters, too, that he did use the 1 power previously. But...
Yep, and I liked the fact that now he has kind of known it all along, and now you have Egwene and Nynaeve who also know it, and their reactions when they see him stumble down the hill, and just like him starting to be like, oh no, shoot, does Mat know? Does Perrin know? Obviously Lan knows.
Oh, yes.
So, and then it does springboard into the Great Hunt very well, for a couple of reasons, because that book picks up right in Fal Dara. So, yeah, I think it does a great job of wrapping up the ties that Jordan started in the book, but I think it also continues those threads, get it, thread pattern,
Mhm.
that make you want to pick up the next one and just keep going to find out what's happening. So, that's my take.
Good job.
Nice.
Yeah, I worked on that.
Way to weave some of those thread puns in there.
See what you did there. That's nice.
My brain is like a loom.
Jeez.
Yeah.
There was a lot there, and I don't know where we want to begin. I know the whole thing about getting the group together, and it sort of a recap. I thought one of the worst kept secrets of the book was, Rand was channeling the 1
entire
power
time.
the entire time.
Yeah.
And that's one of the nice things with the writing is we're smarter than the characters. Like, we kind of have like a third party omniscient, or we go to different points of view, so we kind of gain that. But
even if the reader isn't, there's actually a section in here where Moraine spells all of that
Mhm.
out.
Yes,
She's like,
that
I should have known with Bella, because
Yep.
Egwene was on Bella, and you wanted to keep her safe, and you needed this so bad, and so you drew on the 1 power to make it happen. It's like,
Yep.
So he actually goes through and he's like, look, see, I've laid these things all the way down the line.
Yes. Yep.
Which I kind of like, because he's allowing the reader to discover them, but then at the end he's like, just in case you missed it,
Yeah.
Yep.
look on page 36.
It's interesting, too, that Rand's first channeling event was really protecting or trying to protect Egwene.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nynaeve's first channeling event was also trying to save Egwene from the White Cloak camp.
Oh.
Was that her?
I think it's the first time we see it.
Because I think her first time was actually like,
Well, I think
when
she's
Egwene
used it-
had the fever, which was also to
Oh.
save
Well, it was
Egwene.
also Egwene. So,
I wondered
yeah.
if there was some.
I mean, I don't think there's actually a connection there. I
No,
think
but
it's
it
just
just
coincidence,
it's
right?
probably, well, you never know with
Well,
Jordan.
true.
But
I also wondered about when she found everyone at the very beginning, because remember, they left Eamon's Field well before she
Yeah.
did, and she was able to track them despite
But
Lan's
she's a good
best
tracker.
efforts.
and it's
She is a
also
good
but it's
tracker.
also interesting that neither of them realized what they were doing.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Which is kind of a nice mechanic. I mean,
Mhm.
if you're a wielder of
I was saying, and knowing where the books go, we know now that Rand is one of the most powerful channelers, potentially powerful channelers out there.
Moraine said, like, to take that much Saidin
Would've-
in.
Well, it burned out Agelmar,
Would've,
so
yeah,
because he woke up in the ashes of Agelmar.
yeah.
But then and we know
That's a
as
band
the
name right there. Ashes
Ashes
of
of
Agelmar.
Agelmar.
We're gonna make
Yeah.
a Wheel of Time metal band, guys.
all right,
but I can't play any instruments.
you can be the vocalist.
don't think anybody wants that.
We're going to have
Can you
guitar.
do the script singing?
I could probably do that.
So guitar, trombone, and vocalist. We'll be like
Hey, who's going to play the horn?
Wait, is this a ska band now?
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
a death ska band.
The Horn of
Anyway,
Valere.
so anyway, all right, we're going off the rails.
Yeah, we are.
but that's all right.
One thing I wanted to touch on, because I thought it was really neat, was what Loyal did to the Green Man's oak grave, right?
Yes, that was really a powerful moment.
Yeah.
And you could tell that it physically drained Loyal, and he made the comment, he's like, the Green Man is still in there, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to do this. But just cool that in the middle of the Blight, this oak is just going to be green.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
So.
and that was my other favorite imagery from these chapters, is as they were leaving, the Blight was no longer the Blight as they had known it.
Well, it still
It
was,
still was, but it
like
wasn't
it,
to
like
the same
spring
degree.
was starting to creep in around the edges,
Yeah.
and things weren't as
Because they had talked about
Right.
how bad the
The
crops were
stench.
going to be. Well, all the way from the very beginning, they were talking about how this was, a bad season for crops because it had
the
been
winter held on, and
Yes.
spring never really came, and nothing was growing. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is a sign of new life, both in the metaphorical and physical
was it?
sense.
Moraine said it twice. Let me see if I can find it.
Let's all watch Chris intently.
Yes.
Do you have any jokes while he's looking?
Yeah. Do you?
Oh, none that are worth recording, I don't
No,
think.
that's all right.
My kids like to roll their eyes at my jokes, though.
I can't find it, but she said something like, "We have dealt the Dark One a great blow" or something, and she mentioned it twice when they mentioned Tarwin's Gap, and they mentioned that things were greener, and spring seemed to have come, and she's like, "We fucking did it!"
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't put it quite like that. I'm paraphrasing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
I
But
thought that was a quote.
I
No.
didn't. I didn't use the quotey hand
All right.
gestures, so yeah.
Yeah. She didn't say it in your face.
No, she
or
didn't.
Anything like that. Okay.
Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway is it kind of... There's some exposition that kind of explains some of the things that maybe the readers haven't caught on to. And there are, just closing of some stories. There's, not stories, plot lines. Threads, yeah. I was going to try to avoid puns.
Yes.
But if you insist, I will pun. And then it's okay. The discovery of the things, in the eye. So the banner,
The things in the eye.
Oh, yeah.
Things in the eye.
Yeah, that happens to me too.
Yeah, when I wake up in the mornings. So the banner of the dragon and the Horn of Valere, and there was something else.
The seal.
The seal,
The
yeah.
Quendiar.
So there were, yeah.
It was broken.
Yes.
And that's
But it's something that
interesting
couldn't be
because-
broken.
Right, because they take the time to say, Aes Sedai can't break this, the strongest steel in the world can't break this, nothing can break this, but
It's
look, it's broken.
Mm-hmm.
Which also sets the stage for...
But I think I
Wanting
question
to
that in my
pick it
hot
up.
take too. So when did it break?
So
Good point.
my assumption is that, she said, I think she being Moraine has said it more than once, that seals on the Dark One's prison are weakening.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's just over time it's happening. I don't think it's anything Rand or Agenor did.
No, but does that mean though that when it was put into the eye, however long ago this whole chest and stuff was put in there, that it broke sometime while it was in this pool of Saidin?
That's my assumption.
That it just weakened and broke.
At this point, I think we will see if Mr. Bishop, if you're watching, and you want to chime in. This sounds like it's right up your alley. Seriously though, I think every episode we have put out on this book, I think Scott Bishop has commented or made some contribution to the
Good
discussion.
contributions too.
That's
Yes.
fantastic.
Adding a lot of knowledge, a lot of insight, and so Scott, thank you. It's been awesome having you along. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I seriously, I just want to pick up The Great Hunt now. I think you already have.
I have. But yeah, I mean, this one, it wraps up most of the kind of main plot threads that the book set up, but it sets up so many things for down the road. And having read through it once before, it's incredible how many things that Jordan set up now that play off, 10, 12 books later. And it makes you wonder when he wrote this, I don't know what kind of a book deal he had, if he had, a 5-book deal, or, if it was just going to be this one, which he kind of wrote it in a way that it could end here. There's still a lot of stuff that's left open.
Yeah.
But, most of the major things end. But, did he have, I don't know what kind of a deal he had, so if he had a chance to, knew that he was going to be able to do at least, 3 or 4 books, and then it expanded from there.
I remember a quote attributed to him from the early 90s, maybe the late 80s, where he said something along the lines of, I think it's going to be a trilogy.
I think George R. R. Martin said that, too.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is kind of tangential, but I'm going to bring it up anyway since you mentioned George R. R. Martin. But I saw on YouTube a conversation between Martin and Stephen King, and apparently Stephen King is not a fan of Robert Jordan.
Oh, really?
Really?
So, but I think Martin and King maybe have similar writing styles where they're more gardeners.
If you've read On Writing, King's book, it's similar.
So, but he's saying how he'd never read Martin's book because
Or Jordan's
Martin's, because he was afraid it was going to be like reading Robert Jordan, basically.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So, I was just like, oh man, come on.
Ouch.
Come on, Steve. Come on. I know you're never going to watch this, but come on.
Well, it's funny how he kind of plays with similar themes in The Dark Tower, with time and things happening over and over again, and
Yeah.
And if he hasn't read Jordan, then
Well, and
Anyway.
I know that I read some things about King and with The Dark Tower where he was like, I wanted to write something like this as soon as I finished reading Lord of the Rings. But I knew if I sat down and wrote it right after reading Lord of the Rings, it would just be a Lord of the Rings knockoff.
Yeah.
So he kind of like stepped back, did some other stuff, and let it percolate for many years until he got to what was The Dark Tower. And I wonder if that is maybe part of his gripe, is that it feels very Tolkien, which is something he tried to avoid. He actively tried to avoid doing that.
Sure.
So that might be some of it. I just came to that conclusion. Bam, it's the gin talking.
Fantastic.
All right.
Yes. Should we
good
talk
stuff.
about what we're doing next time? Not like what book. We still have that reveal coming. But like what our next episode is going to be.
I mean, I think so.
I think it's going to be a Brian episode, isn't it?
It's
He's gonna
Yeah.
talk, and he's gonna sing, and there's gonna be choreography.
and there's gonna be a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear a joke?
Yes.
What do you call it when Nynaeve, Mat, Perrin, and Rand get together to play computer games? A LAN party. And there'll be more of that coming up.
So next time, what we're actually going to do is we're gonna just look at the entire book at a much higher level than the last 27 episodes we've done.
27. Wow.
26 or 27, something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But just looking at it high level and taking 10 or 15 minutes and just providing a 1,000-foot view review. Because some of you don't want to stick around for 26 or 27 episodes. Some of you just want to get in and out in 10 or 15 minutes and know if you want to pick the book up and read it. So that's what we're going to do. And then, the more I drink, the more animated I get.
That's right.
By the way.
By all means.
Carry on.
What we're going to do after that... That you made me lose my train.
I think we're gonna have a book reveal after that, aren't we?
We are, but we're also going to talk about the upcoming Wheel of Time TV series.
Yes.
Looking at everything that's been released, whether that is concept art, whether it's leaked set photos, whatever that is, and try to tie that back to the book and see if we can figure out where they might be going, what they might be doing. I know their cast is extremely diverse, which really excites me. It might turn some people off, but I'm personally excited about that. And then that is coming out in November, so I'm looking forward to that. Then we'll do the book reveal.
All right. And then?
Then we take over the world.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Sounds ambitious.
Cool. So next time, the 10,000-foot review. It might have been 1,000 foot 5 minutes ago, but I don't remember what I said. And then the Amazon Wheel of Time TV series analysis. And then the new book.
No and then.
And then
No and then.
world domination.
Yes, that one.
So
it's a 3-step plan.
it's a 3-step plan,
jeez.
and this is probably 7 minutes longer than it had to be because I won't shut up. But until next time... Oh, wait, stop. Don't do that yet.
Oh, all right.
Thank you for watching. Use the comments section. Hit the like button. Use the bell notification so that when we post new stuff, you get notified. And thank you very much for watching.
Now can I do it?
Now you can.
Oh.
Yeah.
Al